Tuesday, December 2nd edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Meteorologist Matthew East here with you. A couple of web cameras across the state of North Carolina. A rainy scenario there atop Beech Mountain there from the Beech Mountain Parkway cam, courtesy of resortcams.com. Along the Outer Banks, not a terrible morning unfolding there. North-northeast wind there in Kill Devil Hills at 9 miles per hour. Temperature there 53.48. Atop Beech Mountain. Now, before I get into what's ahead today, I want to recap a very warm day yesterday. These are the actual recorded regional high temperatures. Look at all the 70s on the board. Even Asheville hitting 70 degrees yesterday afternoon. Let's check on the Greensboro and Charlotte viewing areas specifically. Look at all those 70s across the Triad viewing area. 74 degrees the high in Burlington, 73 in Lexington and Mount Airy. Greensboro hit 73, 72 in North Wilkesboro and Winston-Salem, Gastonia and Charlotte at 73, 73 in Albemarle, Wadesboro 73, Statesville 73. So the entire Charlotte, Greensboro, and really it looks like most of the Triangle and Sandhills regions, coast, all topping 70 yesterday afternoon. In relation to the December 1st averages, as you probably are well aware, that is way above average. Those high temperatures yesterday, 10 to 20 degrees above average in most spots for the recorded highs yesterday afternoon. Now, some weather changes ongoing this morning. I'm cutting this video about 5:30. So these are your 5:30 temperatures this morning. A lot of the Piedmont zones down into the 40s now, even Columbia at 44, Boone and Asheville in the 40s. Northeasterly winds kicking in as we're seeing a wedge scenario begin to unfold across the I-40 corridor especially. You notice Greensboro and Raleigh with northeasterly winds. And we'll see that wedge progress further down into even the southern Piedmont and parts of South Carolina as we get a little bit deeper into the day today. I'll show you more on that coming up in just a moment. Again, strong high pressure there, moving from the Great Lakes up into southeastern Canada and the northeast, and that is in a favorable position for cold air damming. That's exactly what's going to be unfolding for us here as we continue through the day. Now, as we've gone through the night, had some rain in the mountains and into the foothills areas. Let me show you specifically here a little bit more detailed view on. Well, I got the temperature map first, then I'll show you the detailed radar view. The cold air. And from this cold air damming regime up in the northeast part of the country and getting shoved southward as this wedge begins to set up. Now, onto the radar. This is what it looks like across the region. We've had the mountains and the foothills see some of this activity moving through over the past several hours. The mountains and then up into Allegheny, Wilkes, Surrey counties there, seeing some of that rain continuing to move on through. And as you expand the radar view out, a little bit of a break there in parts of the central mountains and then more rain in eastern Tennessee. You eventually hit a little bit of snow in parts of Maryland, southeastern Pennsylvania, and New Jersey as that precipitation is riding right along that boundary between sub-freezing and above freezing air, and then some rain showers back into parts of the Tennessee Valley and the lower Mississippi Valley, all with this little complex storm system moving through. But the big story for us today is this cold air damming episode. These northeasterly winds are going to keep things pretty cool here across our region. A lot of clouds. In northern North Carolina, at least, a little bit of light rain a possibility today. The rain not a big deal. The big story is the temperature change in comparison to those 70s we had yesterday. Watch the wind product here from the RPM modeling. Northeasterly winds all the way down into much of South Carolina today, but the wind direction will change tonight into tomorrow. We see some southerly and southwesterly winds back in place tomorrow, and that's going to erode the wedge, and it should be a good bit milder tomorrow. So here we go with Futurecast this afternoon. The temperature difference especially noticeable across North Carolina, but then again, a bit of a milder scenario tomorrow, with a lot of us trying to warm up to around 60 or so, I think, tomorrow afternoon. In fact, here's your high temperature forecast tomorrow around the region. 60 in Greensboro, 61 Charlotte, approaching 70 in Columbia, and upper 60s in Fayetteville, too. This is that setup then. As we get into Thursday, we see another wedge event unfold. That begins Thursday, and I think that really continues into much of the weekend as well. Your Thursday highs cooler once again. It'll be even cooler on Friday, and it really looks like a scenario here where as we get into the weekend, we're going to have a lot of clouds Saturday and Sunday, some rain a possibility at times, especially I think later in the day Saturday. Again, it doesn't look like an overly heavy rain event, but kind of a cool, cloudy, maybe damp scenario for the upcoming weekend. All right, that is it for today's edition of the Carolina Weather Video. Everybody have a wonderful day, and God bless.